Hello students, welcome to BioWhisper with Manas. So we are continuing with the lecture series on animal kingdom, which is an important chapter of class 11 biology. So let's start with phylum Porifera today. So what are the general characteristics of phylum Porifera? First, it's multicellular and the level is cellular. It's asymmetrical. That means it cannot be divided into equal halves uh, in any plane. It doesn't have any true germ layers and it doesn't have coelom, so it's coelomate. These are generally known as sponges and they live in mostly seawater, so they are called mostly marine. So what are the general characteristics? Cellular level, asymmetrical, no true germ layers, no coelom, and they are mostly marine. Now let us move forward. So what are the special characteristics of Porifera? So we have these spicules. You can see there. This one is the large cavity spongocell. Ostia, small pores and its osculum. So the water here enters through ostia. Then enters through ostia and it enters into a spongocell. From a spongocell, the water goes through osculum. These are the spongin fibers for spicules. So ostia, we know that. What is ostia? Uh, it's the small pores through which water comes in. It enters a spongocell and through osculum the water goes out. Now let us study about water transport or canal system, which is a special feature of Porifera. So here the osculum, the small ones, that's ostia. So water transport and canal system, it helps in gaseous exchange, that's respiration for you. It also along the water comes the food, so it helps in food gathering also, and it removes the waste that it excretes. Now the spongocell, this cavity, it is lined by canocytes or collar cells. These canocytes or collar cells are the place inside which digestion takes place. So this form of digestion which takes place inside canocytes is known as intracellular. Intracellular means inside this cell. Now the endoskeleton. There are two types of skeleton, exoskeleton and endoskeleton, inner and outer. So the inner ones. So endoskeleton is made up of spicules or spongin fibers. Here, this one. Now let us discuss about the sexes, reproduction, fertilization and development. So as far as the sexes are concerned, these are not separate. That means they are bisexual, and such kind of sexes which are not separate, that means male and female are produced by the same organism. It's known as hermaphrodite. Reproduction, they reproduce sexually by formation of gametes and asexually by fragmentation. So sexual reproduction by formation of gametes, asexually by fragmentation. Fertilization is indirect. That means fertilization is internal, inside, it happens inside the female body, and the development is indirect. That means only larval. That means larval stage is also involved. Direct larval stage is not involved. The organism directly develops into adult. Indirect stage, the organism develops into larva, then it develops into an adult. So what are the examples of Porifera? Here we have this cycle, which is known as Scypha, Euspongia, which is known as bath sponge, and last but not the least, a spongilla, freshwater sponge. So spongilla is known as the freshwater sponge. We have the bath sponge, Euspongia, and cycon, which is known as Scypha. Now let us move towards another phylum, Coelentrata. So what are the general characteristics of Coelentrata or Cnidaria? These exhibit tissue level organization. And these are radial symmetrical. A sponge was asymmetrical, this is radial symmetrical, diploblastic, and acoelomate. These are mostly marine and they follow the blind sac body plan. That means the elementary canal is incomplete. But they have only one tube for ingestion and egestion. That's blind sac body plan, complete elementary canal. Now, what are the special characteristics? So, the cnidarians have stinging capsules, and these stinging capsules are nematocytes. Since cnidarians contain cnidoplasts, and the cnidoplasts in turn contain the stinging capsules called nematocytes. Now, the cnidoblasts, which contain the stinging capsules, nematocytes, these help in encourage that emulsification of the organism to a place, defense, capture of prey. Encourage, defense, capture of prey. Cnidarians have a central gastrovascular cavity, this one, with a single opening, just like mouth, but it is known as hypostome. In Hydra, you find that. Cnidarians have a central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening called hypostome. Now let us discuss digestion. In Porifera, it was intracellular. Inside, cnidarians follow both intracellular and extracellular. Digestion in Porifera, intracellular. In cnidarians, both intracellular as well as extracellular. Habitat, just like the Poriferans, they are mostly marine. They may be sessile, that means fixed to one place, or they may be free swimming. Sessile or free swimming. And they show the quality of polymorphism. That means they have more than one form, polyp and medusa. So what is the difference between both the forms, polyp and medusa? Polyp, as you see, it's cylindrical shaped. Sessile, it is fixed here, and reproduction is generally asexual. Medusa, it's umbrella shaped, free swimming, and reproduction is sexual. So polyp, cylindrical shaped, sessile, that means fixed, reproduction asexual, medusa, umbrella shaped, free swimming, reproduction sexual. Example here is Hydra and Adamsia of polyp form. Adamsia is also known as sea anemone, and medusa, umbrella shaped, free swimming reproduction, and the example is Aurelia or jellyfish. There are some cnidarians which exhibit both forms, polyp and medusa. From polyp through medusa, transformation takes place through asexual reproduction. From medusa to polyp, the transformation takes place through sexual reproduction. Polyp to medusa, asexual reproduction. Medusa to polyp, sexual reproduction. So you can say in this manner, here it's asexual, here it's sexual. So this process of transformation from polyp to medusa and from medusa to polyp, that is polyp and to medusa and vice versa, this process is known as metagenesis. And the organism or the cnidarian which show this is known as obelia, also commonly known as sea fur. Now the corals are also a form of cnidarians. Their endoskeleton is made up of CaC3, calcium carbonate. Corals endoskeleton is made up of CaCO3. Okay. The examples of cnidarians are Hydra, Adamsia, which is known as seaman polyform, Aurelia, this medusa form, jellyfish, Aurelia shows both. Then we have a Gorgonia, which is known as sea fan, Penatula, sea fan, and Mandrina, which is known as brain coral. Mandrina, brain coral, Penatula, sea pen, Gorgona, sea fan, Aurelia, which is jellyfish, Adamsia, sea anemone, and Hydra. Now phylum Ctenophora. Phylum Ctenophora is exclusively marine. Earlier the Porifera and the Cnidarians, they were mostly marine. But this one is exclusively marine, totally marine. So echinoderms are other organisms which are also exclusively marine. Now let us discuss the general characteristics. So most of the characteristics are the same as the coelentrates have. We know poriferans, they showed cellular level, but cnidarians and ctenophorans, they show the tissue level of organization. These cnidarians as well as ctenophorans are diploblastic. These are acoelomates, both of them are acoelomates. Both cnidarians and ctenophorans show radial symmetrical, and both of them have incomplete elementary canals. That means they show the blind sac body plan. That means one opening for both egestion as well as ingestion as well as egestion. Sixes, same as porifera on nitarians. That means all three of them are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites. That means the sexes are not separate. Hermaphrodites. D-I-T-E-S. Hermaphrodites. That means the sexes are not separate, they are bisexual. What is the difference here? Reproduction in poriferans and nitarians. Both asexual, sexual. Poriferans and nitarians, both asexual and sexual. But in ctenophorans, it's only bisexual males. Reproduction, that's the main difference. The poriferans and nitarians, they show both type of reproduction, sexual as well as asexual, but the ctenophorans show only sexual reproduction. Now in terms of habitat, the poriferans and nitarians, they are mostly marine, but the pterophorans are totally marine. They are mostly marine, but these are totally marine. Fertilization. In poriferans, the fertilization is internal. Nitarians, external as well as internal, while in Ctenophora, it's external. So there's a difference in fertilization too. Poriferans, the internal. Nitarians, external plus internal, and Ctenophora, external. Development is the same. That means the indirect development involving larva takes place in poriferans, nitarians, and Ctenophora. What are the special characteristics? Now the Ctenophoras, these are known as walnuts or comb jellies. For locomotion, they have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have 8. What are the 8? Ciliated complets. They have 8 ciliate. This is cilia. They have 8 ciliated complets, and with the help of this, they move from one place to another. So these 8 ciliated complets helps in locomotion. Now the nitarians, they have a special characteristics. They emit light at night in the sea, and this property is known as bioluminescence. It is the characteristic of ctenophorans. So examples of ctenophoras, examples of ctenophora, Pleurobrachia and it's here Ctenoplana. Ctenoplana and Pleurobrachia. So today we have discussed about Porifera, Nitaria, and Ctenophora. So we will continue with this lecture series the next day. So if you haven't subscribed my channel, do it now and do like